Sometimes people ask me, why was the Institute named after Clare Boothe Luce? Clare Boothe Luce was an accomplished conservative born in 1903 who accomplished so much in her life. She was a celebrated playwright, a war correspondent, Vanity Fair editor, a two-term congresswoman, the first woman ambassador to a major nation, and the first woman to headline a national GOP convention. She faced hardship and tragedy, most notably the tragic death of her college-age daughter in a car crash, and overcame them with faith and renewed determination. She stood as an ideal contrast to modern feminism's woman as perpetual victim mythology, and a role model that young modern women today can emulate. With the blessing of Mrs. Luce's family to use her name, the Institute was founded 20 years ago in 1993 to promote conservative women leaders, prepare the next generation of conservative women leaders, and to counter liberal claims that they speak for all women. They don't, of course, although they have been quite successful in influencing impressionable young women cloistered on college campuses, and through the liberal dominance of media and the popular culture. Yet we know that young women's ideas change over time. I love the way our board member, Kellyanne Conway, explains the transformation.
For years I've been asked ad nauseum, how do you get more women to vote Republican? How do you get more women to think that they're conservatives? And I'd say, and I always give these long-winded answers, so I'm going to come up with 4 M's. Marriage, motherhood, mortgages, mutual funds. And they become conservatives.
One challenge today is that many young women are delaying marriage, motherhood, mortgages, and mutual funds well into their 30s. That gives the left too many years of unchallenged influence for too many young women. The conservative movement can no longer afford to wait for that natural philosophical transformation to occur.
So many young people aren't being exposed to anything but what the left has to say, and to their detriment and to our country's failure, because we now realize and see that this nation is churning out, because of the left, the first generation of American socialists.
We must be proactive in reaching women, and for us, that begins with working mostly with college students, some high school students, affirming their conservative instincts and helping them bring conservative women speakers to their campus. Our campus speakers are considered highly controversial by the left, which dominates most schools and colleges and universities. These accomplished women leaders challenge the liberal status quo, and they deserve tremendous credit for their courage in taking the fight directly to the enemy camp. And it really is an enemy camp. The left gets better each year at finding ways to keep conservatives off campus. It can be a real struggle for conservative students today to bring a conservative perspective to campus. Our summer events in Washington, D.C. are some of our favorite forums to reach and encourage young women. So many wonderful, energetic interns from across the nation converge on Washington during the summer. And we've been blessed to have outstanding leaders speak to them at our summer conservative leadership seminar, our intern seminar on Capitol Hill, and at other summer events. We see many of these young women accomplishing great things. They are the future, and it's a bright one for the conservative movement. We've touched the lives of thousands of students over the past 20 years with our conferences, our mentoring lunches, our seminars, and our many other events. It's always gratifying to hear from women years later how they were encouraged and motivated by a Luce Institute event, and to discover what they're doing today.
Thank you, Michelle, and thanks to all of you for being here. It's really great to be back among friends, among the Clare Boothe Luce Policy Institute. When I graduated college and moved to DC, it was Luce programs like the Conservative Leadership Seminar up on the Hill and these CWN lunches that not only helped connect me with my peers, but it also really inspired me to launch a career in public policy. So at a Luce event, to be on this side of the podium is really a treat for me, so thank you.
Another favorite forum is the Conservative Women's Network, a joint venture of the Luce Institute and the Heritage Foundation. The caliber and diverse interests of the women and once a year in December, a man, who speaks at these monthly events. It's just amazing. The conservative movement has a huge reservoir of very talented women, and it's a pleasure to showcase them in this way at the Conservative Women's Network. The other group we've worked most closely with over the years is Young America's Foundation. YAF has encouraged us to hold some of our mentoring lunches for the ladies at their summer conferences, and I know we've changed women's lives at these. We began an annual Western Women's Summit 5 years ago. It's held at YAF's Reagan Ranch Center in downtown Santa Barbara, California, a wonderful location where attendees are surrounded by memorabilia of a great era of contemporary conservative history in both the Reagan Center and during the tour of President Reagan's ranch in the mountains. Women also have the chance to hear from many of the West Coast women warriors in the trenches on a variety of current policy issues. This year, they heard from elected leaders: Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch, Arizona Governor Jan Brewer, and Representative Marsha Blackburn, as well as a panel of professional businesswomen, including Cleta Mitchell, who is a quiet heroine for her work in the IRS scandal. They had a national security overview from KT McFarland and much more. Attendees also have a chance to network, compare experiences, and share ideas. And when the official conference is over for everyone else, the students have a separate 5-hour seminar where they learn how to be better leaders for conservative ideas on their campus. In the next 20 years, we plan to establish similar summits in other regions across the nation. It's a great way to reach more women where they live and work and where they face the challenges of this world each day. Our intern program that runs each semester and in the summer is renowned among women in the conservative movement. After 3 or 4 months as an intern at our Virginia headquarters, a young woman's life is never the same, and she emerges more courageous, knowledgeable on the issues, and more confident in her ability to be a leader for our side. There is so much that the conservative movement can do to reach women, but the reality is that so few of us are doing it. I am so grateful to our supporters and friends who have helped the Luce Institute accomplish so much in the last 20 years. And I'm positive that in the next 20 years, we will have even greater success.